Shabbat Shalom. From the time I was young, Judaism has served to enhance my life. From the synagogue being a place I always felt safe, to my youth group helping me to grow during the angsty teen and tween years, to the current day as Judaism fulfills me both personally and professionally. But as much as I love Judaism, even I have to admit that we have a lot of weird quirks. One of those odd quirks is that the annual reading of the Exodus story doesn't happen during Passover. Every year we read the Exodus story in January or February, and inevitably there is often some congregant, often a kid during our family services where we discuss the Torah portion that says, wait, why are we talking about Moses and Miriam and Pharaoh in the winter? Don't we do that in the spring? Yes, Passover happens in the spring, but the yearly cycle of Torah reading, it happens earlier in the year. So when people ask me about the timing, I give them a very Jewish answer. I give them two answers. The first one is that the Passover story, the Exodus story, is read on Passover. It's the special Torah portions that we add during the days of Passover. But the second answer is a little bit more spiritual. We're often taught that we don't pick our Torah portions, they pick us, meaning the portion that we are born under, the one which we read and bless as we become a bar or bat mitzvah, and sometimes even the portion that is read the week that we pass away. One famous example of this is Debbie Friedman, the famous Jewish musician. She passed away during the week that we read Parashat B'Shalach, which contains Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea. How fitting. A woman whose life work was dedicated to adding music to the world left the world in the week that Miriam brought music to the Jewish people. As another example, I was actually born in the week leading up to Shavuot, the week that we accept the yoke of Torah. So if this is the case, then there must be a reason that we read from Leviticus during the time of Passover. And more specifically, most years we read Parshat Tzav, which we do this year. So what does it connect? What's the connect to Passover? Why are we reading about sacrifices, Aaron's ordination as the high priest, and what we should be doing with all the blood, entrails, and leftover pieces of the sacrifices? Why are we reading about the minutia of sacrifice and priestly practices instead of the 10 plagues and the parting of the sea? Leviticus is filled with details. We are told in explicit detail the different kinds of sacrifices, how the priest should dress and act when making sacrifices, who we are permitted to have relationships with, who is forbidden to us, and so many other details about so many other things, mostly dealing with the temple and purity. If the Torah portion is supposed to relate to the time at hand, could this be teaching us that our freedom lies in the details? As slaves, our time was never our own. We didn't have time to savor the details of life. But as free men and women, we can spend the extra moments to appreciate the beauty and the splendor of the world around us. What are the details of our lives that are worth savoring? What beautiful details do we add to the world? Slaves don't have time to consider the details of life. They are concerned with survival. But we have the blessings of time to appreciate and savor all that is around us. Pesach Seder is not generally known for its brevity, rather for how long they can extend the time we are sitting at the table. And in fact, for some, that's a point of pride. So as we gather around our Seder tables tomorrow night, our ability to spend time on all the little details will be evident. We will painstakingly arrange the Seder plate with all the required foods, some of which you traipsed around town looking for, some of which you needed to pull out the blender to make. The leader of the Seder will have put some thought and time into how the Seder is going to go, and together we will spend the time that the slaves never had, reliving and reveling in the story of our freedom. We will recline because the slaves couldn't, and enjoy our meals. We will linger, taking extra time to retell the story of how our ancestors left Egypt with a flourish, ready to begin again as God's people. Time is one of the precious resources that is never renewable. You will never get back today or tomorrow. Each day, we are given the gift of 24 hours, 1,440 minutes. As slaves, we don't get to choose how we spend that time. As free people, we have autonomy over some of that time. There's a great story that circulates around the internet every couple of years about a young boy who pesters his father to find out how much money he makes each hour. The father is very annoyed at his son. He finally gives him an answer. The young boy goes to his room and returns with enough money to buy 1 hour of his dad's time. While initially annoyed by the boy's invasive questions and pestering, the father realizes that while his work provides for the material needs of his family, sometimes what they need more is his presence and his time. So often we forget that it is a luxury and a gift, time. So this Passover, let's take time to appreciate the gift of time. Whether it's taking a walk through Central Park to enjoy the beauty of the blossoming cherry blossoms, sitting down to read your favorite book, or spending quality time with the ones we love. Each time we get to choose how we spend our time, we are expressing our hard-fought freedom. Chag Sameach and Shabbat Shalom.